Welcome to X and O's to Joe's. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. I am happy to be with you today. It is bright and sunny out here in Georgia. I've got the stunner shades on, but make no mistake, this is an opportunity to get better and see what your team is going to be doing in the future. We're looking at the Titans, the Tennessee Titans front seven today, looking at some changes. They've made some changes in the offseason. The personnel is going to be different. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about different opportunities they have with different fronts based on their personnel. I think they've gotten deeper, but they do have some holes to fill, so stay tuned. So what you're looking at here is the Titans defensive front versus the Kansas City Chiefs last year in the AFC Championship game. If you notice inside, they have 99 Jarrell Casey playing your 3 technique, and then you have DeJuan Jones over here in your 1 technique. So you've got your quintessential interior defensive lineman trying to suck up the space to keep the guys off of your stat linebackers, Jayon Brown and Evans. You've got more rush type of ends on the outside. These are linebackers in Landry, and Harold Landry, and Correa. So you've got Correa and Landry who are really more like outside linebackers than they are like ends, but they are your quintessential rush outside linebackers. Now over here, not pictured, is actually number 26, Logan Ryan, who played the nickel last year and now is not going to be playing the nickel. So the first thing we want to address is who will not be here next year. Now, we'll start over here with Correa because Correa was wearing number 44. But we all know that Correa will not be wearing number 44. He will now be 40. However, number 44 will still be there because that is where Vic Beasley will line up at in this type of defense. Number 99, Jarrell Casey, is gone. He was traded because they believe in Simmons. They believe that Simmons, number 98, is the guy to give them everything Jarrell Casey was giving them. And so you will see that 99 change to a 98. Over here with Logan Ryan, he's gone. Who's going to replace Logan Ryan? I think the number 1 candidate is AJ, Adoree Jackson. He's a guy who can come in and bump inside, give you the athleticism, the versatility to be able to play inside against really athletic offensive players. So on a 1st and 10 situation, this is most likely what you're going to see. Now here we see a formation that Kansas City gave the Titans during a 2nd down and long during the AFC Championship game. If you look here, you can see I still have Beasley and Landry out on our edges. Beasley lining up in a 9 technique outside of the tight end, but I've brought Jack Crawford in as a 3 technique to the tight end side. Jack Crawford, a guy who's very explosive, is going to probably give you more up the field than Daquan will. So you put Jack Crawford in here and you put him with Simmons, and now you have dynamic type of pass rushers in the inside. Obviously, our linebackers are still here. It's still technically a nickel situation, but if you notice, here's Kenny Vaccaro, who played a lot over this tight end, and now you leave Adoree to be able to deal with the more athletic tight end, where this will probably be a guy who's a lot more dangerous. So Kenny Vaccaro comes over to this side, and you let both of the corners come over to the front side. This will give these guys a lot more opportunity to be dynamic from the middle to flush out, but also to be able to make these guys step up into the pocket and these guys fit and shed and get rid of these guys so that they can make a tackle on the quarterback. So in a 2nd and long situation, this is the type of front you can probably expect. A look that looks more traditional, like a 43 defense or a 4-2-5, really, if you think about the nickel. And so this will give them an opportunity to be more dynamic, be able to rush off edges, and be able to get some pressure up the middle. Now, when it's third down and it's obvious pass rushing time, you're going to see the combination definitely change up. So look for Correa to come back on the field during third down a lot of times, especially on an obvious pass rushing time. Notice that Correa comes back inside along with Brown to be stand-up 3 techniques. So they're standing in their normal linebacker stances, but they're up on the line of scrimmage. In fact, because they're up on the line of scrimmage and standing up, and Landry is standing up, there's a good chance that Vic Beasley will be standing up as well. And the only person you'll see down in the 3-point stands is Simmons. Remember, this is the spot that used to be occupied by Jarrell Casey. And the question is, can Simmons occupy this spot as well as Casey can? We know he has the talent, but we have to see him do it in order to believe it. Here's Vaccaro over here, man, getting tight to the ball because he's a linebacker. People are going to be locked up out there. Here's AJ over here, along with that 3-by-1 look. So he's over here to be able to lock up on that guy that's going to be on the line of scrimmage, possibly jamming him and allowing these guys to get home. But again, it's going to be a 5-man pressure. These guys are coming. We're saying we have 5 for your 5. Can your 5 keep our 5 from getting home? The answer early on last year in the AFC Championship was no. These guys were getting home. But the answer when they made an adjustment in Kansas City was these guys were not getting home. They were losing rush lanes, and that allowed this monster back here at quarterback to be able to move around. So if they're able to get that rush happening from outside so that they can't run around or keeping their lanes, they're going to have a lot more success in obvious passing downs. I have one more thing to show you, which I think will be interesting to look at, especially when the Titans are taking on teams that have a philosophy that more resembles theirs, which is we want to run the ball. Now here's a look at what the Titans would do if they came up against a team that was trying to run the ball on them. Here you see you've got a tight end and a wing look to your defensive left and a wing to the right. This is most likely a 12 personnel or possibly even a 13 personnel, maybe a 22 personnel if one of those wings is a fullback, but definitely personnel that you would think is run-heavy offensive personnel. So they would counter with a defensive front that would get more burly defensive linemen on the field. And if that's the case, then you would move a guy like Simmons out to a 7 technique because he's athletic enough to do it and long enough to be out here as a 7 technique. You have Jack Crawford that could play your 3. Now you're coming back with bit number 90 in the middle to stuff everybody up. And then you bring on the rookie, Larrell Murchison, to play on this backside end. He plays like a defensive end anyway, and so it really does work into what he does well. He's great against the run in college, and so this would be a natural position for him to play. And now these 4 big bodies up front allow our 2 linebackers to do what they normally do. Evans can roam around, make tackles, and Brown can roam around and make tackles, but they're also really good at filling the hole. Kenny Vaccaro, who's a great guy in run defense, is going to come in and make sure that everything's good on this edge. If he has to set the edge and spill everything, he'll definitely be there to do that. And so this is the front that you could possibly see when it's time to go against teams, maybe like the Baltimore Ravens, that want to run the ball down your throat. You're going to see much bigger bodies out here that are still athletic, because these guys are athletic, but they play stronger, which allows them to be able to hold up versus the run better than your Vic Beasleys or Correas might do in those particular situations. So look for a front like this. If you're seeing teams start to run, look for them to personnel and bring in those guys that are bigger bodies to be able to adapt to that. That's all the time we have for X and O's to Joes today. I've been Coach Gene Clemens. Titans fans, you have a lot to be excited about. I know that you can go 2, maybe even 3 deep at some of these positions. Yes, Casey's going to be a loss, and a loss that someone's going to have to step up for it. But if that is Simmons, then you're going to have a really nice nucleus of guys in order to be able to build that defense and that pass rush around when it comes to the NFL. So for the X and O's to Joes, I've been Coach Gene Clemens. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if enough of you Titans fans love what we're doing, we'll make sure that we have something for you every week. All you got to do is leave a message in the comments. Until then, y'all have a great day. See you soon.